What's up everybody, it's Jeremy from WeldTec Designs, and today we're gonna have some fun in the shop. We have a killer new product, and what's nice about this is if it's on your van or motorhome, you may not even know that it's there. So you have this giant front bumper. This is gonna be for the 2008 and newer Ford Econoline or Class C motorhomes. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this really nice WeldTec Designs winch plate behind your stock front bumper. If you want to run a winch, you're gonna be able to do that with this. Also, another really cool thing is if you want a front receiver hitch on the front of your motorhome, this will also accommodate a front hitch. But you're like, yeah, I wanna see all of this fit behind that. Well, no problem. I'm gonna do just that in this video. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to install in your driveway, in your garage, maybe at your favorite camp spot. So without further ado, let's get this thing installed. All right, first thing you're gonna need, I'm gonna actually cheat. I'm gonna use an 8mm. We have to take off the dust shield underneath it. Let's dive in. So now, we took off the 4 bolts that are holding this plastic shield on. You will not be putting this back on. So really, this is just trash. Next up, we're gonna take the bolts off of the bumper, the actual nuts off the bumper. And to do that, we're using a, what is it, 21 or 13/16. So to do this, you're gonna have 6 bolts on here. What I normally do is I take the 2 center ones completely off, and then I'm gonna do the outside ones. I'm gonna leave one on there, just like 1 or 2 threads, so while I do the other side, the bumper's not gonna fall and land on my chest. And I lied. This one only has 4 bolts. Make my job even easier. Now, I don't have to get back underneath the coach. I can just put my hand under there, loosen that thing off, and there you go, front bumper's off. And move this out of the way. All right, so we have our front bumper off. We're gonna put our winch plate on. Now you're gonna see that you have the 2 bolts factory in there. So you have this bolt and this bolt, which are going to be used on the factory mounting. So same thing, I could come over here and mark this one here and that one there. So what that means is for these 2 bolts right here, we're gonna actually come in and drill a hole saw right here where that's gonna go to give it clearance for the new bolt. So when this winch plate goes on, we're using 8 bolts, not just 4. All right, so we're gonna make 2 holes in the stock bumper. We're gonna want these holes to be about 1 3/4 inches. And the reason being is that this is an 1 3/8 washer. What's gonna happen is, now we marked the 2 holes that we're going to be using. So what's gonna happen now is this bolt will wind up being right here in the bumper. We're gonna use the grade 8 hardware to mount the winch plate to the actual frame. And then your bumper right here is gonna go over the winch plate into the bumper using those factory 2 holes that we marked. So you do have two lines coming off of here. So I'll just push these back out of the way. The winch and everything will still be able to go in there. All right, so we have two grade 8 bolts in the winch plate holding this on. So at this point, you have two different options. You can either use two grade 8 bolts and the factory bumper bolts, or you can actually remove these two factory bumper bolts by removing the washers on this and taking this plate out. If you do that, now you can use 4 grade 8 bolts per side. So the hardware is gonna come with enough bolts to do all 4 or 8 of them on there. So just giving you guys a bunch of options depending on how you want to do the install of this yourself. All right, so you can see we put the marks on here, but you can see the factory like registration holes are for where they should go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill 2 holes in the center of both of these in order to give clearance for that grade 8 hardware we put in there. We're using an 1 3/4 hole saw, and then this has the pilot built into it. All right, so we have our winch plate bolted up with just 2 bolts. Now we've taken our bumper and we've drilled 2 holes to clear the washers on those bolts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove these little washers on here and remove the 2 factory bolts. That way when we bolt up, the bumper is gonna get 2 bolts, but the winch plate is gonna get 4 grade 8 bolts per side, making that winch plate even stronger. All right, so I'm just gonna use a pair of dikes on here, and I'm just kind of getting behind this. There's not really a super easy way to do it. And that whole bracket comes out, so now we don't need these, and now we'll be able to use grade 8 hardware to mount the bumper and the winch. All right, so with the factory hardware removed, now we'll be able to bolt the bumper and the winch plate to the frame using 8 grade 8 1/2-inch bolts, which is gonna be a big plus. Come on, in my arms almost don't fit through there. All right, so there it is. We've set the front bumper over the winch plate using the hardware supplied by WeldTec Designs. I'm now gonna go in. If I want to raise this, I can do that just a little bit. Overall, this is looking pretty good. Coming around the side. I might cheat this up just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna tighten up all the bolts really good. Keeping in mind, if you were gonna install the winch, make sure you install your winch before you put your bumper skin back on your van. Now, what's great about this is we did this whole install in under an hour, making this really simple for you to do at home. So if you wanna add a winch to your Ford E-Series, your motorhome, this is gonna be the easiest way to do it. Now, keep in mind, I'm gonna give you, here's the little tip. If you were gonna install a receiver tube, usually I'm removing the front license plate, I'm moving it off to the side. I will have to cut the plastic to cut a reveal in there. I'll take some pictures of it and show you it all done. But really just wanna show you how easy it is to run this winch plate in your Ford, behind your Ford E-Series front bumper.
And at $500, this raw winch plate is super nice. And if you're already doing the bumper, you know what you might as well do as well?
Black it out.
Black it out. Maybe do some smoked out headlights at the same time.
Headlights. You could also do your front grille as well. Some really popular items that we have here at WeldTec Designs. I'll make sure I put links to all of these things if you're interested in blacking out your front end down in the description down below. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. We got a new video like this coming every month for you guys so that you can find these little projects you can do at home in your driveway. And we're trying to keep the cost of these really down, so it means more upgrades for you on your van or motorhome. Thanks guys so much.